Okay. Just have to wait and see how things go. Sadly, it looks like take this little hair off. There we go. Sadly, it looks like we were at 2.9 done, but now we're 2.7 done. And I think it's because our opponents have been losing games because we didn't play. That is how that works here, which is a little bit why I don't actually like the ranking system on OGS and KGS. Because, like, if I beat this person or man on trip and then they lose games, I go down in rank instead of going up in rank. So that's not very cool. Of course, Ferdian, if I lose to him and then he loses a bunch of games, I also go down in rank. So it's no good. But it should be fine overall. Hello, Dark Jackal. How are you doing? So I was thinking a little bit. I think I probably won't be playing a game today, but I was thinking about some other stuff because I wanted to develop a little bit of a. I already said I wanted to develop the nice habit of getting up and doing Sumego and stuff, but something I really want to try to do for this year, that I really want to try to do more pro games in general. So I was thinking it could also be fun to look through a pro game every morning. I just don't know what order I'd want to do stuff in, you know? It'd be like, do some warm-up Sumego, play a game, and then look at a pro game. Or look at the pro game as my warm-up and then play a game. But then I would feel like if I played the game after, I would feel like I would want to win. Like, you know, I'd feel very, very much like, okay, I just studied something, so now I need to win. So maybe that's not the right way to do it. Play the game first. Yep, that sounds like makes way more sense. They did recently add this attack hero collection. It was not as cool as I wanted it to be, but it was still cool. We'll see if they add more problems later. Yeah, I think it'd be cool to check out a pro game. Yeah, I downloaded one. I have one ready. Yeah, I have one over here ready that I was going to look through. I haven't done so yet. It's from the Korean League, like played today on the 29th. So it was yesterday. I played like a day or two ago. Yeah, so it's like very recent. So like you can get games pretty recently here on Go for Go. So that's what I was checking out. Just go browse by date and then grab a game. I just grabbed the first game that was on here. Make it simple. I think that's what the check mark means. That means I grabbed it. Means I downloaded it. I think. But we'll find out. That's one of the things that I just don't do. Just don't look at pro games enough. But the other thing that I'm going to be working on quite a lot here is I'm going to be doing some more Go book stuff. So I haven't been reading as much as I would want to. And part of that's because all the Go books I keep getting are problem books. Like Trouble Master, it's a problem book. And if we look at the Go Sagan book, it's a problem book. But there is this new one that I recently saw on Reddit. Oh yeah, it's good. It's good to try to guess where they play, and then it's really good to get it wrong. The next part is to find out why you got it wrong, right? Yeah. So this is the. This book seems like a really interesting book, but it's only 109 pages. I thought it was actually a little bit longer based on what they were saying about it. But Han, someone who wins the Masters division quite often, and Tony Yang. I don't know if I played Tony Yang at Go Congress. I don't believe I did. But I was at the Go Congress that he won, so that was kind of fun. What's my favorite book? Currently, my favorite book should just be over here. Let's go by author here. My favorite book is still this one, Fundamental Principles of Go. Oh, my face is in the way. There we go. Fundamental Principles of Go. This has actually says so in this little blurb here. It does say find the best with a minimum reading. Yeah, anyway, so opening an early middle game. Yeah, maybe the font is 6 point. Yeah, yeah, we'll find out. But yeah, so it's a opening and early middle game stuff, and so it really it gives you a very nice guideline on what to do. So there's struggle with early middle game. Yeah, so this one's just it's I think mostly opening, and then there's a whole section on all the different invasions that can happen in a game, and it shows you the common variations for it. Now this is older, but it's still useful to use. Yeah, yeah. I think the digital version is probably better for learning purposes, but you can go to Amazon and get it. But the I know I bought the digital version of the yeah, I bought the digital version, and then I liked it so much I bought the physical version just so I could have a physical copy, not really because uh I thought it'd be good to like better to read or anything like that. So I do know the digital version is the better one to buy. And then I really like the workshop lectures as well. Basically anything by Yulin Yang, I really like. Basically. Yeah, like he said, there are some diagram issues. So like I believe some of them are missing a move. It's like it's nothing that's gonna like really hurt you, but it's stuff that'll make it a little bit confusing when you get to something. And there's also there's a texture thing. Yeah, real books feel better. That's a separate issue. Yeah, but I know that some of the diagrams are wrong, and there might be some typos in the book and such. And but the digital version, if you have an iPad or an iPhone or something, you can play through the diagrams in the books instead of having to try to figure it out in your head if you can't think it through. Yeah, but it's still available as a physical book, so it's still good to buy. I don't know if I have it right next to me, but I have it on my bookshelf. But yeah, and the other book, like there's two other books that I really like, but you can't buy them anywhere else, so it's not very helpful. Let me see if one of them is even on here still. It doesn't look like the author's even on here anymore. Yeah, there's Tesuji and Anti-Suji of Go. Oh yeah, the physical book helps a lot. There's a lot of books don't have physical versions right now, but let me go over here. Yeah. Oh good. There is a listing on Amazon. Doesn't mean it's going to be a book, but yeah, no, it's no good. But we'll go back here. We'll just look at this one. Oh no picture, no picture. Utopian. Hard to find a good picture, but Tetsuji and Anti-Suji of Go is another good book. This one's another hard one to get though. But Sakata Ao. This was more about shape, basically. But yeah. And then the other one's another shape book, but it's by a Russian author, and it's been out of print for years now. Theory and Practice of Shape. Oh yeah, I have the digital versions of those books. Um, I got it on SmartGo Books here. Newest, if I go to newest here, then yeah, I got Joseki Revolution and Fuseki Revolution. They were actually really useful. And then this Go Proverbs book is actually really interesting. The physical copy costs $100, but the digital one costs $25. So I bought the digital one a long time ago. Uh, I'm not sure 100% how I feel about it, but I like this one too. But yeah, I'm gonna start reviewing more of these books that I've gotten since I've worked through more of them and such. But the first one I'm gonna be doing is when this one gets here, The Theory of Go. See if that one, yeah, economical. Yeah, there was a reason why I didn't buy the physical version of that one, even though I like it more. But it's a really big book. I understand why it costs a lot, but yeah, it's just a little expensive. But this one, I'll probably review this one first, and we'll see how it goes from there. But this one's like $12, so it's a really affordable book. And there's a hardcover now. There wasn't one before, but now there is, and I'm fine with not getting the hardcover. Paperback is sometimes a little bit easier, depending on how they do it. So, but even the hardcover is like fairly affordable for a book for a Go book, I should say. A lot of them are around $20, just regular paperback. So, but as I said, it is just 100 pages, whereas like the theory, the other one was a little bit more. Like the one that I like, this one was 200 pages. We'll see if it's 200 pages on Amazon. Let's see. Yeah, 200 pages on Amazon too. So it's gonna be half the size of that book, but we'll just have to wait and see. We'll have to wait and see how it goes. Anyway, I'm still a little bit sick. I got sick over Christmas and the holidays, but doing a little bit better now. Because I had to get things started up again. So I thought that's why I thought it could be good to just look through a pro game here. Ooh. Did you guys have fun over the holidays at all? See if this is cool enough for me to drink now. A little warm still. I guess I can turn my face back on. The only thing I know is that it was pretty peaceful. That's good. Holidays aren't always peaceful, so that's a good that's a good thing actually. It's a really good thing. I just know that I got a gift for Christmas, and I'm like, oh no, I'm old now because I really enjoyed it. Let me see. Let's go to. I can look it up real quick. Yeah, I know what it is because I saw it at the store. There we go. Let me click on this. Open image, new tab. There we go. Yeah, I got some of these. These are just measuring cups and measuring spoons, and I was like, wow, these are really nice. They're made of stainless steel. They're really good. I'm like, oh no, I'm old now. I really enjoyed a gift of measuring cups. Where's my video games, right? I need my games or something instead. They're really nice though. Copper plated, really good. Taking care of your to-do list. Okay, okay. They're really heavy too. They feel good to use. I like it. Anyway. Let's see here. Astrobot. Oh. I have to look that up. Not over here though. I always Google on the other side. There we go. Oh, okay, okay. I thought that's what it was. I wanted to double check. Yeah, yeah. Okay, okay. Hard to get her off the TV now. Yeah, yeah. Well, I heard it was a good game. Didn't it win Game of the Year or something? Or at least I heard people talking about something like that. I don't know, but it looked like it was fun. But now, as I said, I'm just excited I got measuring cups. And I was like, what the heck? Anyway, so I like to look at the first couple moves before I really start thinking about them one at a time. And this is a Korean League game. Round 3 doesn't really matter in this case because league, but On Sung Joon and Park Jing Yu Young. I don't know how to pronounce anything right now, so we're good to go. I guess I should do view coordinates default. There we go. So I like to look at the first 4 moves and see how it goes first, and then decide. Oh, okay, this is like a bin as white here. This is like what he likes to do right now. It's pretty good, just the right level of challenge for it. Okay, cool. Yeah, it looks sort of like a Mario-esque type of jumping and running around game, but I don't know more than that because I saw just a random clip, so I actually don't really know too much about it. But it looked like people were jumping around, shooting stuff a little bit, and solving puzzles and stuff like that. But yeah, dead cells because high schoolers need to suffer. It's been a long time since I've heard of that game. Oh man, but it is true, they need to suffer, so good job. Let me see. I think the next move doesn't really matter, but I would say that if I'm playing, of course I'm just doing an enclosure because I feel that way, but approaching here would be really good. Can't get either of them to play Go with you. You got to take away the video games and force them. If you can't force them to do it, it's no good. They're going to approach first. Okay. And let's get past the first Joseki, because they could do anything they want here. It doesn't really matter too much. No video games until you play your Go. Exactly. You know what you're going. You know what you're doing. Usually the attachment, we'll see. Yeah, just attach. And here is where they could play a fun move. For example, just enclosing now, or still jumping back. They could enclose like a little bit further, make it sort of a Chinese formation, but I think that's usually considered bad. Just enclosing the corner or extending. I don't actually like extending here. I think I personally prefer enclosing the corner. Yeah, forcing people to play Go. It is the best way. It's the best way to do everything. You force people to do it, then they do it, and they're happy, regardless of what they're saying or how they're feeling. They're happy. And okay, so they're going to try to do something like that. Okay, interesting. So I know that if we go back here to just the normal 4/4 here, and we play the same thing, see how loud that is while I'm clicking. I can probably turn that up a little bit then. Yeah, if we play the same thing here, something like this is like a pretty normal formation. So let me volume mixer here and turn Sabaki up just a little bit. All right, let's see. Another move. See how loud it is now? Did I get quieter? I don't know. Doesn't matter too much, but I was just checking with that. Okay. Yeah, so this is sort of a normal formation. Volume is fine. No, I was just checking for myself. I like to have it at a certain point so that it's similar. Yeah, so it's similar with other programs, basically. That way, when I switch to OGS or switch to somewhere else, it's all pretty much the same. Just different sounds instead of different volumes. I have browser turned down there. Okay, I'll probably turn that back up a little bit. There we go. Should be fine. Yeah, the vertical part, the this section right above my head, it's a little bit weird. I had to get used to it, and I still don't really like it too much. But it's one of the better ones to use because you can use it for everything, yeah. But yeah, anyway, so I just wanted to compare this, right? So this is the normal, like this is a somewhat normal variation for this type of opening. Whereas in the game we have this one instead. So we're shifted over one way in each direction, it looks like. And it sort of feels like it's not a very balanced situation, but I guess it's sort of like a micro Chinese variation. And normally, the reason why the micro Chinese was good was because you still had some ability to use this area with the 3 stones. It was usually just 1 stone here, and it could dive into the corner or build on the side. It had an opportunity to do both things, whereas right now it doesn't really. So it doesn't feel as flexible. But I feel like if you do something about it right now, that might be bad. Easiest move, enclose or 3-3 or split. Split's like an old way to do micro Chinese stuff. So let's see what they do. Just enclose, yeah. I like enclose. So let's see. I don't really like how low everything is enclosed, but I do like the enclosure. It's tempting to want to attach on top or something. Wide enclosure, yeah. The wide enclosure really makes me want to attach here right away. But then at the same time, the left side's not too important, so the attachment might not actually be very useful. I can show you that after we see the next move. Which invasion points do you take on the bottom? So let's go back 1 here. So one of the main things, we could do the modern Chinese sort of attachment here. This is something that would be kind of annoying because if we just back off, and we're not even going to worry about the bottom side as white. If we just back off like this, it feels like we do get a nice big area here, but we still have another invasion point, right? They can still come in here now. So it feels like there's 2 big areas that they can still come in. So we get a nice big corner, but we still have some potential weakness. So that also means that maybe even just attaching to this stone in some way is going to provide a little bit of trouble, keeping this area very, very flat, right? So even if they do this one, right, you can see that this area is very, very flat. So you're not really going to be able to build too much. And if they Hane, we're getting this sort of idea again. I'm just going to show the same type of variation where we're splitting off one side and they're potentially getting points on the other. So it's like a nice trade idea. This is why you don't want to do it too early, though. But yeah, I would be interested in at least just coming over here. Even if they go underneath, this is a good exchange because they're not damaging you at all. And you can always just come in and invade this way directly because you have a little bit of extra support. Because they should defend on one side. This gives you the ability to try to connect up in some way or to make some sort of a loose connection. Get whatever you can out of it. But I don't really like invading too much. I would, as I said, I would probably much rather keep them low in some way or just attach to the corner. I think that's mainly what I would be looking for. But if I had enough strength in the center, I would definitely just jump down to invade. But we'll see if they end up doing anything at all on the bottom. I think black right now would really like to add one more move here somewhere. Instead of an enclosure, do some sort of a knight's move or large knight's move. So threaten to make this really large, even just extending over here. But the top side is also quite big, so white could ignore and not worry about the bottom side. So my personal move that I would play here is probably 017. And they're going to go the other direction. Okay. But enclosure was the right idea. Okay, cool. No problem. You can always ask as many questions as you want. Eventually I'll stop answering, but for now. I was thinking of the other enclosure just to prevent white from being able to build the top side. But this also opens up the right side very much. Like just a simple split here is already sort of making it so the right side isn't really points, or there's no potential. So this move helps a little bit more with that. And the one thing I was mentioning is that I don't believe this is the right time to attach, because the left side's not important. Because this is like the normal variation, but the problem is that white doesn't want to play this way, because the left side's not important, right? Like I said, this is sort of building up a wall towards the left side, but this is giving black the top side. So they're going to do the Hane on the other side instead. It's this sort of variation thing here. We'll just do this sort of thing real quick. I guess we should turn, capture. There we go. This is generally what you get, right? You generally get a position on the left side as black, and white gets the corner and the top. And so it's just, it wouldn't feel good if they played the Hane, if you play out the Joseki properly. So you'd end up like having to do this or something and make it feel like a really weird situation. Yeah, so the attachment's not as good as it looks right now. So I think I understand why they did the large knight here, because they would want them to attach right now. See if they just keep doing the same thing everyone else is doing. Oh, nice. Just extend. Okay. I said that the top side is important, so extending is good, but I thought they might want to do something else, but just extend on the top is good. But this is where we get to the placement of stones here. While I want to do like a wide move over here with like Q7, Q6, I actually think it might be good to just jump right now. This is also sort of trying to scope out a large area, but it's also reducing the potential that white is getting too. Now the side is usually better, but if you've watched my videos, you know that I like to do a lot of center moves. I started off with center moves when I first started playing the game, and then I stopped, and then I learned from AI that I was not wrong a lot of the time with center moves. My problem right now is it too early, is my question. Time to play Tengen, yep. All right. Tengen would not quite be right, but jumping over here could feel really nice right now. It's also protecting any sort of invasion on this side, right? Because we're preemptively defending the 3 stones. So I would really like this jump right now. It could be good actually to open this in AI and see what the AI thinks. That could be a good way to do it. Instead of doing it on Sabaki, open it in Kotrain, and then we can check what the AI thinks every so often. But maybe I'd prefer that for after the game. So we'll see. We'll see what happens here. Yeah, I think I'd rather wait until after, because that might influence my feeling about a lot of stuff. Anyway, so I really want the jump or a move over here. These 2 moves feel really good to me. And of course, playing on the top would be nice, but these 2 feel really good. Jump, preemptively doing stuff. Okay, they're going to do this one. They're going to do this one. Okay. So this is where I'd want to see AI. Oh yeah, I don't know anything about how to do it in Sabaki either. I know you can. I'm not messing with it. This is the type of move I'd want to ask AI about, right? Is it actually okay to jump here right now versus doing this one? This one's better points wise. This Q7, it is definitely better points wise. But yes, the left is not too important. However, let's see what they do. They just play on the top. Okay. If white does play one more move here like this, they're sort of reducing black and building up the left side as well. Now, it's not perfect, but it does feel nice. This is also now threatening to invade. Remember earlier I said I probably wouldn't actually invade this area unless I had some extra stones on the top. And so at this point, it's starting to feel like I could invade. And we'd want to invade the third line probably. Does Q7 invite white Q10 at all? I would say the Q10 area is not too important yet. Like in the game, white does just go here. Because like this is like black will play one move, it gets them some points, but it's not influencing the rest of the board right now. So I wouldn't worry too much about that. I would say that at this point, it's definitely becoming much bigger to play on the left side now. Or to do an invasion or reduction on the top here. I find that instead of playing moves like... well, let's do a 2-space here so it's a little different. Because if I click, it'll sometimes show me the next move, and I don't want to see it yet. Instead of playing moves like this, or like this here, as black, it usually feels better to try to grow on a larger scale like this. And invite, now this is inviting white to come in one of these areas. This is the move here, the N15 move would be the one inviting it in. It'd probably be over here, something like that. Because now we're making it very wide, making it very, very large, right? And now they're wanting to come in and prevent you from getting all that. But the reason why I suggest playing like this with like N15 is that now when they go to live here, we'll do the real like I want to live real fast way. There we go. Now when they go to live here, your stone on the outside here at N15 is really useful. And you still have all of this potential on the outside. Whereas if you just pull back, this is why it's not important for white either. It's important to understand why for black first, right? Because if you just pull back now and white just simply jumps, they can still invade, right? Yeah, the lower right is probably a little bit more important than the side right now. I would agree with I want to say Plixik. That is a PL, right? I want to double check. But yeah, you can see that with just this one jump here, it's still possible to invade. Yeah, so I would say that the corner is probably a little bit more important points-wise. But when you've played a move like Q7, you don't really want to come back here right now as black. So white doesn't necessarily have to invade the corner, but maybe white could play like over here, for example. Reduce the corner instead of invading right now, but I still don't like any of these moves. I still feel like I want to grow on the outsides and threaten the invasions later. But we'll see what they do. We'll see what they do. So yeah, they approach here first. Let me see the view. Show sibling variations. There we go. That's what I want to get rid of. Show sibling variations. After installing it on my new computer, I couldn't remember what settings that I didn't turn on or off yet. So you got to figure that out a little bit at a time. Honestly, I wouldn't even want to respond. I kind of just want to jump here. I gotta be honest. I kind of just want to do this. This is old school though. I would rather jump from this side. Okay, good. That's what they do. That's what they do. So they did go back to the move that I wanted to play here. This jump. This jump feels really good now, especially after getting Q7. That's why I didn't like this move on the top at 017. So it's possible black wanted to do this earlier, but they felt like they should play here first. This is the more territorial way. And then if white doesn't play, black is able to take it now. It's like one step after I wanted to do it. And that could be the right timing. This is something we'll check with AI after, just for fun. So there's one question we got to keep in mind for later. I don't want to go through the entire game. I was going to go through like the first 100-ish area. It's like 50 moves for each side. And that should be good enough. Unless it gets really interesting, then we'll keep going. Yeah, so you really don't want to answer at D8. This really feels bad to answer. But now we definitely have to do something for this area. It's definitely too late now to just let it all go. And you can't play like Q10, Q9 as white now, because then black can just jump and just take this whole area. So it could be good to do like an attachment in the corner, see how they respond, or it could be good to just try to do some sort of reduction here. This might be slightly dangerous. This is why I don't like letting someone build too much. So if we go back here, I would have wanted to play this one. Now this does give black the ability to go back to this spot and sort of secure this corner. But like I said, now this is an attack on the 3 stones. And while black is threatening one side, we're threatening the other now. Instead of it being like, if we invade, we get something, right? Now if we invade over here, for example, yes, we broke up this side, but we now black got a different large chunk of points here. And we're still not alive, right? So that's why I prefer to do these types of moves here. This might not be the right one, but this idea I think is good. Yeah, white can still invade the double enclosure. I think the proper way to do it sort of requires extra moves on the outside. For example, if white has a move here, we'll play this. Then white can play like this sort of invasion. Right? If black blocks off the connection in some way, there's lots of different moves that could do it. White can just go back and sort of live in the corner over here. And if black blocks off the corner, then white is able to connect underneath on the other side. This is the this is the safe one to do. Because even if they bump here and block, they have this cutting point, and you can go back and live in the corner. So they have to protect on the outside here, and yeah. But there is technically the ability to still have a ko here, but it's much more difficult because they could try to fight back instead of allowing the ko. So you need some help on the outside for this to work. Yeah, so anyway, let's see how white decides to deal with the bottom, because I feel like you do have to go into the bottom now. You can't just back off. And I wouldn't just want to play the top right now. That doesn't feel right anymore. Yeah, I think the bottom is too big right now. Okay, yeah, just cap, okay. Well, like I said before, if they try to do like a shoulder hit idea, black is still building one side and white's not alive. And this could also be too close. This could be too close and may need to be attacked right away. So they have to be a little bit careful. Whereas this one, you could probably, if black answers directly with the knight's move, which is the normal move, knight's move towards either direction, white can attach and try to make a mess in the area. So I'm wondering if black is going to try to pincer here to attack. I have to be honest. I'd be happy to jump back here. In six as white or black? Black, okay. In six doesn't seem too bad, but it's almost like you're touching. It's totally clear. Tengen, yeah, yeah, Tengen for sure. Hey, Frozen, how you doing? In six, I think it can work, but it is like you're touching the stone, so you have to be a little bit careful with that idea. Because when you're when you attach to your opponent's weak stone, makes them a little bit stronger, right? So you have to be a little bit careful with how you handle it. I'm not sure I'd want N6. I think if I was gonna try, I'd probably want the other side. Moment for Tengen was 20 moves ago. You're just being lazy at work right now. All right, all right. I'm being a little bit lazy too. Just trying to look over a pro game instead of playing games because I got sick over the holidays. And I never look at pro games, so I need to try to do it more. A lot of people from Harvard. Okay. No, it was just really funny. The one time I went to go look at the game, they played Brandon's Josek. I'm like, really? Was that actually Brandon? But he never said anything later, so I figured I figured it wasn't him. But I was like, oh, really? What was his name again? Oh yeah, yeah. And then they watched me afterwards. That's the other reason why I thought, oh, like because they watched my game, and then I went and looked at what they played, and they played Brandon's Joseki, and I'm like, what? What? Come on, guys. That can't be Brandon. He would never make up this name. But I've only ever seen him play that. Yes, that was funny. Yeah, 6 different AJ6 on the UZ account. Okay. Do you know who I played? You know which one I played, I guess? The Kitani just like, yeah, yeah. Maybe Hugh. Hmm. It was fun though. It was a fun game. One of the Chinese kids probably, yeah. All right, let me see. I would be happy. I'd probably just be happy with 0-4. Let's see what they do. They're going to attach on this side. Okay. I wasn't sure about attachment. Is something I need to think about more. Is it these sort of attachments? Like I wouldn't want to attach here, but I also am very passive player, so I would think this would be bad. I was interested to know if they would want to do this, but I feel like this is too much, right? You're not guaranteed anything over this side anyway, so attaching does help white, yeah. That's why I wouldn't be sure about this. Like what I would be wanting, I would be happy with this. I'd be happy with this one or this one or not this one. I'd be happy on either side here. I think I'd rather do the corner, but I'd be pretty happy with this. I already have a jump out on this side. I'm not worried about this group anymore. But it's interesting. Yeah, it's more likely to be attackable later. So either side, though, I'd be happy with. They should be stronger, yeah. Ooh, there we go. Hmm. Yeah, this does feel like it's like I don't know. It feels a little bit like you're letting white off a little bit here, but I feel like white also should have done something a little bit earlier anyway. So I think I prefer black overall. Just connect here. Okay. Now I'm happy to go back. I gotta be happy to go back and take this, but hmm. Any reason to worry about the bottom side now? No, not really. I'll probably be happy to go back and take the points, but they're going to honey on this side anyway. Okay. So if we do go back here right now, and white just jumps, they are threatening us, right? Let's just place a move somewhere else. They are threatening us. There is this cut here, so that, and then they can, like, they do have a lot of potential moves in this area to worry about. Doesn't mean we'd play it this way, but lots of stuff to worry about potentially. So it is better to probably defend again on that side, but I don't want to. I guess it would be the same idea that Frozen was saying just now, right? The two cornerstones are more strong. We don't have to worry about those. Prevent them from getting the nice forcing moves on this side, or threatening us on that side. But now just Hane feels really good. Oh, cut. Okay, now we got into something. Now we got into something. Okay. All right, now it makes more sense. Okay. Now this is a move I never would have thought of because I'm very, very passive. Cut. Yes. It is true. Let me figure out the next move for white first. Then we can look at how it's true about something. There's so many different types of moves you could play here as white. You don't really want to just give up this stone, though. If you extend, it does turn into a bit of a fight, and that could be the right idea. Maybe extending here. Because, of course, ladder shouldn't be too big of a deal, right? Yeah. Yeah. I wasn't sure if I wanted to do the Atari. I was going to talk about that afterwards, but let's see if they do. Oh, the attachment. Okay. Okay, so what I was going to say, though, is that what was sort of going on here before, if we go back to this side now, after they jump, they have a lot of moves to potentially get something on the bottom. So we kind of want to respond. But after we get the Hane in, if they do Atari right now, I feel like that actually protects it a little bit more than you'd think. But there is still the attachment over here. That would be annoying. But it does feel like the left side is a little bit more connected. But I have to read it out. But it does feel more connected after just having this one extra move here. Like a little bit harder to break it up in any way. So like my feeling would be that I wouldn't want to Atari it right now until after I knew how this attachment would go. And then extending here, we're going to fight in some way. We have so many different moves to do it. But it does feel like the right thing that you want to do. Because I wouldn't want to play this Kamo right now. This is one you were saying there's like the normal move here, Frozen. I wouldn't really want this one. Now, it's still possible to fight. But I feel like this is the area black is strong in, right? So I feel like this is what black wants, right? Yeah. So that's why this makes sense. This attachment here makes sense, actually. But this is something that I'm really bad at. I would just be shocked in a game, right? I'd be like, they cut me and I'd be like, uh-oh, what'd I do? What happened to me? Where'd I go wrong? Hope that wasn't too loud. Yeah, I'd be like, yeah, I'd be wondering where I went wrong with my life. It's Sabaki now, yeah. And that's what I'm really bad at. I need to work on that quite a lot. I'd probably be a little bit too direct. I'd probably end up being a little bit too direct and just do this attachment right away so that I can have more ability to get out quicker or try to fight. Ignore to ask more questions, yeah. Yeah, my feeling, as I said, was that white really does want this move at some point. I don't want to just like the Atari is fine to get, yeah, but I really want this move at some point, and I don't want to play the Atari until I know how the bottom is handled. I'm not against playing it. I just don't want to play it right away. So I would probably end up attaching here and trying to figure something out, and then failing and feeling bad about myself because this isn't necessarily giving me eye shape. This attachment, though, I like that one a lot more. We're getting into the idea of potentially giving something up, as well as if we're able to get a good enough result over here, even if the more they try to cut this one side off, the more we can just give it up and do the Ataris on the outside and get useful stones on the outside. So I like it. And I don't really want to play Q3 as black. That feels bad for some reason. Don't really want a Hani underneath. Because I want this double Hani. This would feel really good. Either side, I think, would feel good. There's just going to be an extension here. I don't want to spend too much time on these, but this Hane feels like the better way to sort of fight back here, but then they can go into the corner. Yeah, so extension. We can Hane in the corner now. I'm guessing at Q5, but yeah. R5 remove Kakashi. Yeah, R5 seemed like the right move. Yeah, because you don't, as I was saying, I don't think you necessarily want to do this one. Even without the double Hanes, this at least gives white more strength this way, right? This gives them a much more strength to do something this way. And then there's the double Hane stuff to worry about. Even just this, where they could threaten to live in the corner later, right? So this one I just wasn't sure because I wouldn't necessarily want to have to do something like this one, even if we are cutting this off. Right, because now, even if we're just giving this up like this feels okay for white. Even if, I mean, without worrying about if these moves are good or not, right? So yeah, it does feel like this is probably the only way. And I wouldn't want to go the other way either, right? Because this still gives us the opportunity to attach and do something here. This threatening now to capture the stone, or getting closer to threatening to capture it. So that's what it feels like. That's what they're doing here with this move. Trying to get forcing moves to threaten to capture the stone, but also making us stronger so that we can play out at QK8 in some way. I really want a Hane at P6, but I feel like that's helping enough as well. I actually don't want a Hane again either, but can we do something different here? Do you know this be where we extend at L8? Then we cut again? I kind of want to do it. I kind of want to do this one and then cut. This doesn't mean it's good, but I think that'd be fun. But I think that's too much. There's too much going on here, but it would be a lot of fun. But just Hane, okay. Just Hane makes sense. I just don't want this because I feel like they have the double Hane here. But yeah, I always back off too early and too much as well, so probably good to see how this ends up moving. Yeah, I feel like there's only really one move locally. I think it has to be the double Hane here. But can we do like an Atari first or anything? Extend first? No, I think we should just respond again. Yeah, Hane. We definitely don't. Well, we definitely can't Atari. Actually, we can. It'd be worth points, but we probably shouldn't Atari. Make it really easy on white. Can we Hane again? I feel like that's good for white though. Like I feel like this stone's protected now. Like this stone's captured now, unless we're save it now. And should we save it? We got the Hane first, and then we extend. Yep. So same idea that I had, that I wanted to sort of extend here now, but we don't want to have this. We want black to have the first move over here, maybe. Let me see whose turn is it going to be here. So yeah, I guess it's still white, still getting the first move here, right? Because it's an Atari. If they really wanted to Atari and push through, but it is a slightly stronger formation. So the Hane first does feel a little stronger. I said, we're going to check. We're going to answer some of the questions afterwards with AI just to see. There's like one question I had about the opening, and then we're going to check this fight. See what the AI would have done. Like this feels really strong from black here, I have to be honest. I believe black is the 9 Dawn Pro, and white is 6 Dawn. But the Dawn rankings don't matter too much, because sometimes that's about accomplishment, not necessarily about strength. And I don't really know either of the players, so it doesn't matter. See, did I drop frames at all today? No, not really. That's good. All right. I think if we just Atari here as white, this is too easy on black. It sort of just fixes all the problems. So maybe just extending Atari here and then extending or something. Oh, just the triple honey. Okay. That makes sense, yeah. I sort of want this extension here. But we should get a little bit more strength, a little bit more forcing out of it first. Because I don't necessarily want to Atari. Because as I said, Atari gives black a strong position. We're fixing the weakness. Unless we're able to use something here for sure. Right? There is pushing and cutting and all this sort of stuff here. But we also have a lot to worry about on our end as well, depending on how it goes. So we have to be careful on both sides with our liberties. So just the triple honey right away makes sense. I don't want to any Atariing. And I really don't want to give anything away. I don't want to give a Panuki away anywhere. And I don't want to, because I feel like the push through here might be a good enough compensation too. So like an Atari and then extend idea. I don't like it. Let's see what they do. Okay, start Atari and capture. Okay. I didn't really want to do that. It does feel like white's move is stronger. Well, white's outside white's position is slightly stronger than what black gets there. There is technically a little bit of cutting Aji, but the 3 stones aren't really that important right now. So it feels a little bit like white needs to be the one to come over here and fight first, but black gets there first. But black is going for the push first here to poke at the shape a little bit. I felt like black should play on this side first, somewhere over here. You can't capture with ladder, right? Because of this, but feels like this area is slightly more important. Because I don't really want white to run out with these stones too easily. I want it to be slightly difficult. This is like an exchange first. But does white have to answer? Can white run out the stone first? That's maybe too much. It's maybe too much. I think you do have to answer a little bit. Yeah, I think you do have to answer. Yeah, so my feeling is that if white does do this now, this Hane is just slightly too good. You don't even have to do it right away, but the Hane is slightly too good to manage this situation as easily as you'd want. Anyway, so forcing moves first. Doing that right away. I definitely wouldn't have thought of this move at all either. This is technically connecting everything up, taking all the points. But now white is able to go to the other side and fight in the center first. You don't have to respond, right? Again, I really want something over here first. This feels really important. So we'll check this after. We'll check just this fight. When this fight's over, we'll go into AI and check this one out. Yeah, the Tari here now and coming out. Yeah. I wasn't sure if we want to push or if we want to do something else, but this is like trying to get rid of the liberties on this group as quickly as possible. This one's just like sort of running away a little bit more, attacking it on a bigger scale. Is the fight good for white or black is the question, right? Because if it's a good fight for white, then I feel like black messed up with the N5 move. It felt a little bit greedy. It's N5. But if it doesn't end up being good for white, then I'd be a little bit surprised. I guess it could be. I guess it could be good for black. White's not alive yet, right? With this group, even though there is a Panuki, an ugly Panuki, but a Panuki nonetheless. Black is jumping up this direction. White can technically have 2 weak groups. Black only really has 1. So we'll have to see how they manage. Black, I would want to just run towards this direction or just jump again. And then white, can they live really easily with 1 or 2 moves? They probably can. And Ugnuki. That's a great name. The Ugnuki instead of the Ponuki. I have to remember that one. The Ugnuki. We already have a couple moves that I feel are a little bit questionable that I want to check. Then we can decide if they're right, which they could be. I mean, they're professionals. But if they're right and I'm wrong, I need to figure out why, right? That's the important part with the pro game. With one of the reasons why I study pro games. So, and we're doing fairly casually here, so it's fine. I feel like I really want to separate, though. I don't really want them to keep going, but I also don't want them to be able to come over the top over here. I feel like this is slightly more important, but I really don't want them to connect. So this side feels like the fighting side. Yeah. Shoulder hit here. Prevent them from connecting. Make our group strong without making this group stronger at all. That's the thing that I would be worried about. So like if we like not that would be weird, but well, it might be fine. But if we like peep and jump here, well, now black is going to be able to really comfortably come over the top of our group on this side. Now we're losing any potential we could have made on the top, and our group's under attack. So we don't want that idea. So this makes a lot of sense. And I kind of want to just like go to this side here as black, not worry about that stone. or come over here. But we'll see what they do. They're going to push. Okay. And then threaten. This is just a free move. I know that this is a Korean game. So I know their time settings are fairly short. So this is probably a 30-minute game. That's what I was told by a few different people, that their league games and their training games are the same length as whatever next tournament they're playing, and most of the tournaments are 30 minutes or 60-minute main times. So they could have used a lot of time already. So I don't know if there's a reason to play this one now versus not worrying about it. There are cutting points if white gets there first. If white plays this one and then connect, there are cutting points. Right? There is a lot to worry about over here. But I think it's just like free moves on this side, basically. I don't know if there's anything else to worry about on the other side. But if there's free moves over here, this could make this group stronger. So I guess it makes sense to want to get to that move. Even if it is just like a time Suji idea, this is probably still a strong point to play to make sure they can't get anything extra. But I'm not sure how important it was. Can we Tanuki now? I think that's really important to answer right now. Can we Tanuki now? One eternity later, yeah. Yeah, 60-minute main time, but it's like that's way slow, way faster than like Japan, for example. I believe Korea has the fastest tournament times, if I remember right. But I have to look it up in order to be sure. But they have the like 30 minutes and 60 minutes. I think 30 minutes was more common. I really, really want to jump now, but I don't know if we can. Is this hurting us too much? Actually, I'm not too sure if we're playing from this side, if it does too much to us. The problem would be like this side here. Is this helping them too much? And this might be the real problem here. We don't necessarily want to give them a move like this too easily. So extend jump around. Okay. An eternity. Oh no. Do you mostly play in person or just with friends online? Yeah, so I didn't want to answer over here. So this is a good thing to think about, yeah. I knew I didn't have to technically answer this way. Mostly in person with friends. Nice, nice. I knew I didn't have to technically answer this way. But I always forget about doing something like this move here. Any other move on this side is still fine, basically. And they're jumping not that way. They're jumping this direction, which makes sense. You can't jump directly over because there are still weaknesses in the shape. If you don't have a timer, the game will take 3 hours. Yeah, you got to be a little bit careful with that too. Yeah, I think I need a timer as well. I'll do two different things. I'll either play very, very quickly without the timer, or I'll take way too much time. There's no in between. But if I have a clock, then I can use my time appropriately. So, yeah, I think that's about true for me too. I do probably need the clock. I used to be able to do chess without having to worry about that, but I think those games took a lot longer than I think they probably did. Oh, nice, nice. So okay, so you see your kids. You said your kids don't want to play, but your nephew was fine with it, so that's good. You got someone. You forced someone to do it. Okay, there we go. So I like this one too. We're fixing some of the weakness here because we can attach and do stuff, right? If they go for this, we can try to do something like this one here, where we're making ourselves a little stronger. Only every few months, though. It should be fine. You at least got something out of it. And this is bad shape to cut in, by the way. With the move like further out, there's more liberties on this. But even if they could cut here, there's also the possibility of it just not being a good situation. Like, even if they capture these stones, maybe these stones die. You have to be real careful, right? So, yeah, jumping up here. This is the natural move. I wasn't sure if they'd play it. Oh, down. There we go. I wasn't sure if they play this one. This one makes sense. We're jumping and just sort of continuing to surround. If they try to break out and cut, we get some strength here. If black had one more stone on this side, then we'd be a little bit more worried. But this does feel good for white, so I need to see how black handles it. I think, technically, black does have some eye shape right here. We'll just do this, right? Black has something right over here. And then they would only need one more move to make sort of two eyes. So I think they can live without having to read that out too much. But it's still good to look at this here. I'd want to do knight's move versus jump, but let's see what they do here. Knight's move, yeah. Jump, you're letting them into your territory while fighting them, which you don't want to do. When you're attacking a group and running it towards something, you want to protect your territory when you're running it towards something. If they break into the territory and then they don't die, you lose points in the game. If they don't break into your territory and they are still alive, then you don't lose anything. Something important to keep in mind. I had to learn that the hard way over many games. Oh, I like this move. Okay. So you can see pretty easily now with this shape. Hopefully you can see pretty easily. But let's play some very crude moves, right? Very, very crude moves. There's like one eye over here. And then like one more move here. And we get like another eye on this side. It's like with just some very crude moves giving white a lot of strength. This group is very likely alive. We don't really want to have to play those moves. But something like this, threatening to take the points away and to cut off this side, it's a nice move. This does make it feel a little bit different. Now I think white's alive. And it's a little bit, well, black does need to start living. So it'll depend on how that works, but I think this should be good. And we'll see who got the better deal afterwards. Because white hasn't really broken into any of black's territory yet. So, yeah, just protecting. And then making the eye shape. And then making this group strong. This is kind of important right now. Hane from this side because this side doesn't really connect anymore. Doesn't connect cleanly. And now black is able to just break in. Oh, okay. So white still has this weak group in the center of the board. If black just attaches here, for example, it's difficult to save this group. But you can do it. But you will have to be forced to save the group. So when black is attaching here, they're going to potentially be cutting through on this side at some point after, because they're making themselves stronger and then they're going to be cutting through. They can cut through in a different way too. And we definitely can't block right now because this Atari we're cutting through and making really bad shape for white. Bad shape is in these stones are completely separated in a bad way. And we've also taken away the liberties on these two stones. That makes the shape weaker. So we have Tuatara here, and they're able to break into the top side of the on this, and then white can make some points on the left. Okay. And this is probably far enough to see how, and now we can see if this is good or bad for white. Ended up moving a little faster at the end there. Yeah, have a good day, Plixik. I may not end up playing, who knows? So I'm probably spending more time on this than I might normally. And even gonna be looking at it on AI, so we'll see. Ooh, okay. Have a good day though. So who got the better deal here? White did lose some points on the top that they could have gotten, but they exchanged those points for the left side here. Black ends up getting something. Are you going to take more? Okay, yeah. Black ends up getting something, but like 50 points in this area in general. That feels like it could be similar to the bottom side. And then we have the corner here, and then whatever points in the middle here. So it seems like the game could actually still be even after all of this. So the fight was probably fine to do for both sides, unless someone did make a mistake. So we go back a little bit here. Is there a time where I thought that there could have been a mistake? So here, what I wanted was I wanted to be going this direction first. But this makes it really difficult, right? So we are in a little bit of trouble here. So is it actually too much to fight now? Because if it is, then black played really well. I don't want to do this one. We don't want to give this up so easily, though. Like, we're not... Black's not weak on the other side, right? There's nothing we can actually target on the top side or the right side. So I'm guessing the fight was probably just good for black overall. Unless the score is better for white than I think it is. But I feel like the game's probably still even at all the way to the end here of this area. I feel like the game is probably still even. And I know who won. Black ended up winning the game. But so let's open up Cautrain and see if I can find everything. Put this down, put this down, put this down. There we go. Cautrain. Now we'll see what it says. Let me make sure I'm getting the right game over here. Temporary folder. There we go. As it's empty. Downloads. There we go. Let's have this load here. We can turn off my face. On here, we can look at the graph. I just have the score graph. Okay. It looks like it was just... Oh, I was going to say something, but I had to stop. I had to stop. Looks like it got slightly bad for black, and then it went back to even. And we didn't get through too many moves, but it was just slightly moving towards black. So there was a mistake on black's part in a couple spots. So maybe these are mistakes that I'm thinking. This will be interesting to see just for fun. It's always also fun to look at how pros are doing on their performance reports. Black's doing really well. And then they start making a couple mistakes later, but overall it's like they're doing pretty well. But it is going back and forth point wise. So it wasn't a straightforward this is better or worse. So that is good. We'll wait for it to go all the way done. I'm glad it wasn't straightforward and there may have been mistakes. That makes me feel better about it, I gotta be honest. All right, so my first feeling, I'm fine with all this. This is fine. So this is the AI move here. Okay. So there's a special strategy with this one. I don't like it, but that doesn't mean it's bad. But I like this one that it's showing right here. This enclosure instead. I like this one. This one feels better because it's like you're closing one side off, and yes, you're gonna have to deal with the other, but you're fixing one problem, and that's how I like to address things. I like to fix one problem and move on. Even if I have two, I just fix one, and then if I need to, I can go back to fix the other one later. But one at a time. Enclose makes sense. We're gonna turn off top moves for now, because we want to get to the spot that I was thinking about here. So this one here, it was either this move or the jump here, or the two moves that I was sort of interested in. But let's see. This is where we want to see the top moves. And both of those are good. Both of those are good. Let's see if we let it load a little bit more. Yeah, so those two areas are still good to think about. But it wants to be slightly more greedy than the professional or I was wanting. It wants to be just a little bit more greedy instead. And that's fine. That is fine. So we do this one, and then we want to see the top move here again as well. Oh, policy moves. I've never clicked on that one before. That looks weird. Top moves again. So it does still want this move, but it is also fine with the move on the left side. This is something that I wanted to make sure of. Because if the move on the left side was just a bad move, that's something I need to know, right? Because losing a very small amount to get a more comfortable position is good. That's not going to be bad for you. Losing a small amount to get a more comfortable position is always going to be fine. And 0.1 to 0 to negative 0.3, not that big of a deal. Any of these moves would be good though. So I'm happy with that. Yeah, I would have preferred this one for sure, but approach is more territorial. And of course, jumping here is good. But this is something that AI really likes, is to just take an area, which I'm really bad at doing. But this is something interesting to think about. Just jump here to take this area. Yeah. Okay. So then here is the next thing. This loses like a point. A percentage. A whole percentage. Loses a lot, technically. A little bit further back. But, all right. So what I really wanted was just to take my points here with O4 or K4. With what Frozen said, K4 is probably like the more solid move if we're going to play. Because even if they break up this little area, we have this extension, and this side is safe. Whereas this side's sort of the more greedy move. We get a bigger corner, but this side can technically be attacked in the future. So let's see. Yeah, it wants the corner first. Yeah, that's what I thought too. So I am right. I should play the greedy move. The greedy move makes the most sense. So the attachment was weird. Okay. So a 0.6, like a minus 0.6 is actually getting much bigger than that like a little bit from before. No longer a dark green move. It's still not, I still honestly wouldn't really consider it a mistake yet. It might have been loud. Anyway, I still wouldn't really consider that one a mistake yet. Maybe a professional level could be a mistake, but this just felt so comfortable. This move here just felt so comfortable. I'd be so happy to play this. But white does get to jump out right away, or even attach and try to make some shape, right? Like I said, though, if you play this one, and let's say they do this attachment, we'll play the old school way here with this sort of way and not do the AI thing, right? So we are technically weaker over here on the left side, but we already have a move out towards the center, and I'm happy to be running this group towards the top because we're getting rid of any sort of points they could potentially be making on the top. So this is why I would be happy to run with this group. It is technically more dangerous that way, but I'd be very happy to do it. So this is I think AI usually likes to fight back here instead of doing this sort of thing, but just playing an old Joseki type shape. But yeah, this is like the type of move you'd want to play nowadays. Yeah, so I'm happy my move was the one that made the most sense to me. And it worked out, and AI liked it more. So I'm basically professional. That's all I'm saying. Let's turn that off again. So the attachment wasn't quite as good. You do need to back off. Or you could extend, I guess. Extend's fine, but yeah. Connect. It could be nicer to play a little bit more loosely here, but I think this is fine. And then here again, perfect logic. Yeah, exactly. I know what I'm talking about. Anyway, I really do want to come back here again, but I also don't want to give this away. So I don't like that too much. So yeah. It does still want this though. It does still want it because it's just so big. It is just really big. But I don't really want white to jump here. Because now that does make this a little bit weaker here. And it does want us to basically just move on. And not worry about it. But yeah. Because doing this would be a little slow right now. But I'm going to cough again. Hopefully I moved away far enough that time. Who knows? I didn't look at what the meters were telling me. I don't really want to give them the jump here, but then at the same time, if I had just taken it, like if I was playing, I would have taken this one right away. Now, if they're jumping here, it's way different. I don't care as much because I didn't invest as much time into it, invest as many moves into it to make me feel like I need to go back and take it at some point. Now, if I want to in the future, I can come back or I can come back. Either side's going to be fine, right? So I'm not as worried about it anymore. Oh, attach right away. Okay. Anyway, I want to see this cut, though. Is this on here? It is the top move. Okay. So is he supposed to Hane then? Yeah, still supposed to Hane. Oh, yeah. But this Hane is still bad, technically. So this area where it goes down and is in white's favor, I was right about my feeling there. I did feel like white had the slightly better position. So we need to find out where white's mistake was and see if it's one of the moves we were thinking about. So attachment makes sense. Attachment makes sense. Hane makes sense. They extend the double Hane here. This all makes sense. We get to capture, and that all feels really good. He pushes here, and this is the mistake. I was right. Wow. Man, I'm really good at this game. Dark Jackal, I'm glad you're here to witness my greatness, okay? So I was right that it doesn't feel like we need to do anything right now. And I don't want to do it. That doesn't mean that my move was actually good, though. I don't know if the extension or Atari or anything over here is right. But it does feel like I don't want to answer this move right now. This move did feel really slow. And when he answers, the game went from 75% to 50%. That's a huge difference. That is a huge difference, okay? That is a red move almost. Look at that. That's a let's see what the top move is. Ah, this one right here. This one right here. See, now that I've said all that, I now understand my flaw. No. This turn. And we do want it to come out here. Okay, good. That's what I wanted to find out. Okay, good. This is the wrong way to protect. This is the better way to protect. But after this turn, we still want to be coming out here right now, getting some extra strength. So they are wanting to fight right away as best they can, but this is the better way to fight. Even though it doesn't look like better shape, right? Doesn't look like better shape. But it is. Like if we look at it in the game, he did this sort of thing. Right? So we see they have this awkward shape here. Whereas if we do this one, they're never going to be playing. They should never play this move because this would just be really bad. It's not doing anything anymore. So the way they defended here was really bad. Okay. But this still feels like a bad move too. It is fine, but it feels like a bad move. But I guess we're sort of getting profit from their mistake with this move. I still don't really like it though. Let's let AI think for a second. Yeah. It's the only move now. Yeah, see, I would still, like, in a game, I would probably never play this. So this is something that I probably should think about a little bit more. Maybe I'm fighting a mad clown on a different screen. It's fine. I mean, you should have been here for me, but it's okay. I'm not going to be too upset. Anyway. So what are you playing? Yeah, I never. This is the type of move I would have a really hard time playing in my game. Even though this looks like a move I would play. Like, it looks like a move I'd play because it's like a very slow looking move, you know? But I would have a really hard time actually doing it. Because even I feel like it's too slow, you know? So that must say something about how it looks. Yeah. Oof. And then Atari and push. Push was better. Okay, taking the liberty was better. That's actually a fairly significant difference. In a fight, the 0.5 is pretty significant. Lies of P. I'm not sure I've played that one. But yeah, so this is pretty significant. This liberty versus no liberty is pretty significant. But I figured this was probably still fine. And it is. It's still fine. Ah. Anyway, let's see how the fight went a little bit. It seems like it's even for both sides. White, with black being slightly ahead because white made a mistake. And it is wanting to play on both sides here, but after this, it wants to jump. After this one, it wants to turn right here, right now. That's funny. It's hard to give these up when this is a weak group, right? It's really hard to give these stones up. I would not be able to do that. It's a Souls like when you play as Pinocchio. Oh, okay. I think I know about the game. That sounds familiar, but yeah, I don't think I've played it. That's funny though. So it's Lies of Pinocchio. Yeah, this is a really awkward shape point here. And yeah, okay. All right. So that's good to know. So all of my feelings about the game seem to be approximately right. If we go back here a little bit, this felt slightly too good for white after this attachment. That was my feeling. White can play lighter here, but this is fine. The cut is like a very sharp attack here, but white actually gets a really nice position, and then they just defend it wrong. Yeah, they just defend it wrong. They have a lot of Aji here. And this is the area where I really feel like I need to know how to play this right, because I would never just play this now. This just feels so wrong right now. So wrong in so many ways. Feels so not good. Then we have to fight here. And I was right in not wanting to take the Atari. It doesn't want to do the Atari right away. And it's probably because there's some potential Aji on the bottom, first of all. Right now, I think is a good time to do this one here. But then give up these stones, though. I would also have a hard time giving up these stones. So this is a fight. Feels like you're lacking fighting spirit when you give up those stones. Yeah, that's just weird. And then my other feeling was that after this move, I don't have to answer, and I want to come back to this side right away. All right. This is why a long time ago you just had to accept what the AI, not the AI, my goodness, what the professionals were doing in their games. It's like, oh, they had to have been playing the better move. But now we can go, but is it really good? We can look at the AI. Is it really that good? And I'm happy to see that it's not really that good. I tried to justify it as best I could in the game, right? Because there is Aji here. So, not that one. This move makes some sense, but I really don't want my opponent to come over the top of these stones. I really don't want my opponent to do that. So they come over the top here, I feel much weaker locally. And so I felt like we want to be the first one to come over here. Even if there's Aji on this side, we'll have to just deal with it however we want. Right? We have to just deal with the Aji here. Because I think this is the stronger side, technically. We're giving him some more points, but now this group is looking like it's very, very weak. And it's going to be a difficult fight for both sides. You know what the funny faces the players are making over? Exactly. You know what? It's a good point. The AI can't see what's really important. Let me see here. Let me turn this back on. We don't need that anymore. We're good. Yeah, so I'm happy to see that my feeling about the fight was not wrong. The other reason why I'm thinking that these stones are more important on this side, like let's say we do get to defend all this here, and we just end up connecting somehow. We'll do this. We'll make it easy on ourselves. There we go. The more they're fighting on this side, and the more they're trying to survive, we'll get rid of these top moves here. We'll just do this. The more they have to do this sort of thing. There we go. You can see that we're just getting all of this potential territory on the left side of the board right now. We're just getting all of this, right? This just looks really nice on the left side of the board. So I really want them to have to struggle. And that means that I will have to just manage this group as best I can. And there's just nothing I just have to do that. I don't have another option. So, whereas if we let black get the upper hand like they did in the game, not like an obvious upper hand, but you see that this is nowhere near as thick because black didn't have to struggle and didn't have to force a bunch of moves here. So they can just cut through and potentially fight back, attack us, which doesn't feel very good. Yeah, so I definitely feel like this was like this back off move here, even though you have to play something now. This is giving us that extra weakness here versus if we had done this side now, right? Any of these types of moves. We're getting stronger here instead of weaker. We do have to manage this, and I have to admit I'll have a hard time with that, but I have to try anyway. So the only thing I was wrong about was this move, though. This is the only thing I was wrong about, was this sort of move. And then the idea that we have to protect these stones. These stones are actually not important, apparently. We can just turn now. And then if he captures, we can just jump again. Yes, the stones are safe in the center, but all of our stones are also safe. So it's a perfectly good exchange, which is just weird to think about. It's just really weird to think about. Anyway, let's see what the full game was here. Let's go all the way to the end here. There we go. Just for fun, performance report here. Man, look at that. Black's basically AI. Look at him. Even though we saw a bunch of mistakes, Black is basically AI. Look at that. So good. Okay. So I think I need to figure out a way I want to do it like a little bit quicker. Like I'd probably want to do like 30 minutes for like a looking over a pro game. So maybe I would want to do it in the AI, but what I'd have to do if I turn off my face cam here, I have to close all of these sections here. And then when the moves are out on the board, just not have any indicators. Like next move indicator, I will not meant to show dots, right? Aren't we all basically? Don't get started. We don't need this right now. We don't want to show dots because that'll tell us if the move was good or bad, right? So we'd want just keep all this off, and then we find a moment like this where we think this is not the right move, and we wanted this move. Now we can click at top moves real quick, because this doesn't tell us who's winning, right? This doesn't say anything about who's winning or losing, just what the next top move is. So we can probably do it this way next time. Let me see, like that way we can just check real quick, and then that way, because I want to do like today I just wanted to relax and just sort of go through it real slow, like, and not worry about anything. But I do want to have like a little bit of like a schedule for the morning, like and then I like not spending a whole hour or 2 hours on just one pro game, for example. Because I'm not really making a video or review or anything special. We're just going over it. So something a little bit quicker. So maybe do it this way. There's like, that one's really good move. Is that actually good? Yes, it is. Yay. You know, that sort of thing. So we'll think about that. Think about that for next time. Then I can do a pro game. We can do some Sumego. Then I can play a game. We have all that stuff all in the morning stream. Have a good habit built. But I am feeling really hungry now. So I think I probably will stop. Ugh. My throat's all starting to get a little bit more tickly, so I'm probably going to start coughing more. I was able to last for a bit here, but don't want to be coughing too much on stream. Just making a bunch of loud noises for no reason. It's no good. Yes, I'll go eat. We made some tacos last night. We made crunch wraps last night, actually. Not tacos, we made crunch wraps. We bought the giant burrito tortillas and a bunch of stuff to make crunch wraps. It's my grandma's favorite thing to do. So I might make something like that real quick. Put some jalapenos in it. Get something spicy to clear out my sinuses, right? Seems good. Have a good time. Enjoy your game. Make sure to beat up the clown. And all the other ones in the game that you need to. And I'll see you tomorrow, hopefully. As long as I can find out which screen I'm on. There I am. Anyway, I'll see you guys tomorrow.